Hey everybody, happy 25th anniversary to the greatest game franchise of all time, that is Shenmue. I can't believe 25 years has disappeared, it's a blink of an eye, and here's to 25 years, much longer, of following Ryo's journey and hopefully getting a conclusion to Shenmue. We have a lot to talk about in terms of the past of the history, the present, and certainly the future as well. But as ever, I am ably joined by my friendly co-owner of the dojo, James. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, thank you. Friendly indeed, yeah. Hopefully. Happy 25th anniversary to Shenmue, eh? I like what you said there, Matt. The greatest video game series of all time. Couldn't agree anymore. Definitely is.
It's been mad, and actually, I think, and we'll talk about this a little bit in a minute, that it's been going.
How are you anyway,
pretty
Matt?
Busy. Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. Oxford United won today, so that's always a good start.
Yeah, Stoke as well.
Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, good.
Nice festive period.
It's been really busy over on Twitter, actually, with lots of Shenmue posts kicking around, lots of tributes, lots of posts from Japanese outlets. Obviously, it's the 25th anniversary of the release in Japan. The Western releases were later on in 2000. Obviously, they'll be celebrated accordingly in the coming year. We'll do stuff for that as well. Don't worry about that. But this is the marker. This is the one that everybody was waiting for, apart from Sega, who haven't actually done anything,
acknowledged anything.
Which is anyway. I'm not going to dwell on that. We're not going to dwell on the negative here. We're going to sit. We're going to enjoy the positive side of this. But before we do all of that, I'm going to say hello to everybody in chat. I've got Ginger Fairy. I've got Shenmue Village. I've got Scribe. I've seen Sheep, Ninty Gold, Guppy, AM2 Podcast. I'm guessing that's Andrew in there with us. Strictly Sega Europe, Nick Hughes, Sean, going a bit further up because people have been chatting away. Anna Dill, Clunky, Nick Hughes, and Richard Cartledge. There's loads of you in again tonight as well. Virtua Peter or Peter Wilson. Oh, yeah, talking about a certain person posting things that they shouldn't have been over on social media, getting battered for it. Space Holiday.
I just blocked him, mate.
I just couldn't be arsed with it. Ninty
Honestly,
Gold.
I just blocked him. I can't be arsed with that.
I know, it's just clickbait hunting. Recordy TV and Abdullah as well. If I've missed anybody, I do apologise, but I'm sure we will pick you up as we go through the stream. So, as James has been out celebrating and doing bits and pieces across the day, you've got me doing the news section. I will make this nice and quick for everybody as well. Ginger now is asking, can he be called by his Shenmue World Issue 3 name? Well, we can do that if you want.
Yeah, Chris Farrier, isn't it?
So there we go.
Actually, here's something for you, Chris. You were meant to win this a few weeks ago, right? Didn't he win the marble race for the back CD?
He did.
Yeah. You weren't around at the time, but you definitely won that, so hit me up if you want that.
Yeah, drop us a message.
That's a prize that we still got for you. Yeah.
Drop us a message. So what I'm going to do...
Mr. Farrier?
Oh, dear. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop us into a very short news section. I'm going to start off with a recent piece of news. Guppy Koi pinged this over to me, and I've just gone on to X/Twitter to have a quick look. Shenmue is trending on Twitter at the moment. It's got 237 posts. I imagine that's going to go up and up as the night goes on. The caption's a bit funny. It says Shenmue at 24. We know it's 25. If you click on it, it actually talks about the 25th anniversary.
It does say 25, yeah. I was wondering if maybe it's AI that sort of takes whatever it's taking this from. It sort of got confused a little bit with us, because obviously we retweet a lot of the posts throughout the day, and we've got like 24th anniversary attached to our account, haven't we, if you know what I mean? So maybe it's getting a little bit confused.
Possibly, but the fact,
my theory,
the fact that it's trending again organically, we haven't like made this concerted push for it that we do on the 4th, which obviously we're going to continue as the year goes forward. But to see it trending again is fantastic, and hopefully somebody somewhere is paying attention, be it that Sega or in games or anybody else. Obviously, then we're leading into hopefully some more Shenmue news. Very, very recently, this stream happened about half an hour before we came on air. Sega Dreamcast Info, or Laurent over there, who does all sorts of documentation, archiving of Dreamcast betas, source code, and God knows what else from over the years, had a stream, and he showed off a Shenmue 1 beta from June the 1st, 2000. This looks, from what I can see and what I've read and understand, is a beta that would have been part of the translation beta that was being done at Sega of America. So a few years ago, I interviewed the lead beta tester for that, Mike Reinhardt, who was involved in working with Lauren on this as well. So there's the link to his page. I will pop it over in the chat for everybody to pick that up. A post will be coming up, and download with that beta will be coming up very, very shortly for everybody to see.
Nice.
Which is awesome. As mentioned sort of at the top of the show, we have seen a number of articles from Japanese outlets more than Western outlets at the moment. I suspect the Western outlets will pick this up more when the Western anniversaries come. But all the same, there's been a lot of articles popping up. And one article on Famitsu was very, very, very interesting. So it talks a little bit about the history of the development. Basically what they did, they had like a round table. They got a load of the ex-development team together and Kenji Miyawaki, and they basically sat around and reminisced about making Shenmue. And then dropped into the conversation, and I did a video on this and released it this morning. They confirmed that a PlayStation 2 version, a working version of Shenmue on PlayStation 2, was internally at Sega at the time. And not only that, they also confirmed that they had a version of Shenmue 1 working on the original Xbox, and there was licensing issues around that may have caused other issues around that not going over to Xbox as well. So we could have ended up in a really alternative reality. Take away what it would look like on PS2 for a minute, and they had to basically change things up and work things over to make it work. But had it gone to PlayStation 2, would we be in the position we're in now? That's one little talking point that I'm going to bring up and get everybody to be talking about tonight. That is very interesting all the same. But that was cool. Absolutely brilliant to see that. That for me is like on the pedestal of like the Sega Saturn build. That's for me. I don't know what you think, James, but if that came out along with the Saturn build, I'd be all over it.
I think, obviously, for me, the Saturn build is way, way higher because it's like a unique experience, whereas this is just Shenmue again. It would be interesting to see how it plays on the PS2, what sort of liberties they had to take to get it running on there. I know you've spoken to a few people in the past, Matt, that was saying like essentially they'd have to like change all the shaders and all the sort of textures and stuff like that to get them running. Obviously, they've put the groundwork in, and then there was a stumbling block with whatever's going on with these rights, licensing issues. I don't know why. Once they've got to that point, they couldn't just go a little bit further and, did what they did for the remasters and remove some of those things or switch them around a little bit and have like a Sega watch rather than a Timex watch. But especially on the Xbox, because there was still semi-licensing in the Xbox build, right? Didn't we still had a Timex watch, right?
What in the Shenmue 2 you
mean? In the Xbox build.
Yeah, it was Timex.
Yeah, so obviously that license is standing there, so I don't know. And also the other thing I was thinking was we also did get Shenmue the movie bundled with Shenmue 2 on the Xbox. Is off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but is there literally no scene in that whole movie that passes by a Coke machine or passes by
I don't
any
know.
bit of licensing?
I don't know.
It's just a shame, really, because obviously Shenmue, a full version of Shenmue probably would have made Shenmue 2 sell better on the Xbox, so potentially could have formed a better relationship with the Xbox and had, sequels exclusive to the Xbox back in the day. Or, like you were saying, Matt, in this ultimate dimension, this ultimate reality, Shenmue being on the PS2, and then obviously Shenmue 2 would have gone there. Would anything have happened there? I don't know. It's difficult to say because obviously Yakuza didn't really take off until Yakuza 0. So Yakuza 1 and 2 or whatever weren't very popular in the West, at least.
Not for a long time.
So I don't know if Shenmue would have been a similar sort of situation there. It's just something we'll never ever know. But obviously, it probably would have had more of a chance on the PS2 because of the install base. But yeah, interesting news. If there's a builder on there, I would definitely like to give it a go at some point and just see what the differences were, what sort of things they had to change, anything notable. You'd probably get another account from Brian Park who's doing his Shenmue 1 differences.
Well, yeah, possibly. But yeah, again, because this has been theorized for years, whether Shenmue could have even run on a PlayStation 2 or not, and the technicalities around it. But this confirms, yes, it can, and was, and there was a version of it that was certainly in some respect playable. Obviously, it needed bug testing and all the rest of it. And Scribe makes the point there that actually, Shenmue hadn't been on a successful console until the re-releases. Which, and when you think of the install base of the PlayStation 2, there'd been much more of a bigger install base there for it. So it could have gathered more fans, and we could have ended up at least getting the series potentially finished. Who knows? And then it then calls into question now with the Nintendo Switch and why they haven't put the games over there. It's insanity, isn't it? But so that was an interesting point that came out of the interview, which was published overnight. And then the last bit, now I'm using Fanta Riverstone's translations from Switch on this, was the Yu Suzuki 2025 end of year message from Famitsu.com. Being straight up and frank, there's nothing really Shenmue related here. He's saying his keyword is getting active for the year. So resolving his lack of exercise. I mean, he doesn't look like he doesn't have doesn't do any exercise, but there you go. New Year's resolution was able to announce the release of the new title at the year end and continue to developing new gaming experiences to everybody. So he's thinking proactively about games. That not just be Shenmue, it could be other games and franchises as well he's thinking about. And then recent news that he's saying very soon Netflix will deliver his new game Steel Paws to you. It's a thrilling action game where you can blow away hordes of enemies with simple controls. If you subscribe to Netflix, you can play it on any supported mobile device. And then looking ahead, he's looking forward to Ghost of Yutei, which is the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. So nothing specifically Shenmue in there, but something that I wanted to at least highlight and bring up anyway. It's great for Wisenet that they're working. They've got other ideas floating around. They've got a game coming out. Yes, it's on Netflix, and I don't know what the install base of Netflix games is like, but given the history with Air Twister, it might be a year exclusive, for example, and then could come over to consoles and other platforms after that exclusivity deal expires, if that is even something that's in place. I hope so, because from the trailer, which was a very nicely put together trailer, which obviously for the people who just come in was announced at the pre-show for the Game Awards, which is amazing to see Yu Suzuki's name within that plethora of people. And I think there's a small amount of people who go, well, he's been relegated to mobile games and the pre-show of the Game Awards. Take that away for a minute. Wisenet is working, it's busy, it's making games, and all the time they're open, all the time they're active and doing things. They're getting money, they're doing things. It means that hopefully we get edging towards Shenmue 4 or whatever Shenmue content going forward. And the last thing I'm going to address before I dive into some Shenmue 1 is that obviously there's a bit of hype around in games and what they're going to be saying today. I think quite late on in the day today, we're probably not going to hear anything. I think there's more expectation on the community part than anybody else's as to what was going to be going on from in for today. Let it cook. Let them get on with what they're doing behind the scenes. Obviously, within the Christmas period anyway, so people aren't working and are out and about and enjoying themselves. But I do feel we're in a strong position as we come into 2025, where also James and I, at some point, either on New Year's Eve or on New Year's Day, will release the end of year video that we always do. But I'm going to dive us into some Shenmue 1. James, I'm going to pick you up on the point around the Yu Suzuki end-of-year message. What's your takeaway from all of that while I get the game set up and running?
I mean, to me, it's slightly surprising he doesn't mention the relationship with in games. But besides that, everything else is probably as to be expected. Obviously, he wants to promote Steel Paws. That is the main focus, especially in the immediate future. Thinking the deal with Netflix, quite smart in a way that all of the projects and endeavors that they're going through are sort of low risk, because you've got other companies like Apple Arcade, Netflix, who are seemingly putting up the budget for these projects or whatever. So Yu Suzuki and his team can sort of just work away to the heart's content on these games and make sure that they're good enough. Like Air Twister was a great game. Steel Paws so far, from what we've seen or what little we've seen of it so far, it does look to be an interesting game. And yeah, I think it's nice that he's getting sort of this sort of income from these services and these companies. He's not really taking too many risks. That it's not like it's a Wisenet released project and they're hoping it does well. they're getting the money up front, aren't they? So even if it's a failure as such, it's not really a massive blow to the company. They can continue to work away on other projects, I would assume. I don't know if you agree with that, Matt.
I agree with everything you've just said there. Like you say, it's low risk. It's not. You're not bursting the bank here, and it's almost like guaranteed money, isn't it? They've made this game, so they've been paid. They're making that money. Whatever deals in place as well, that means they get like a bit. I don't know whether they get money through engagement on something like Netflix. I don't know, but if they are then getting a steady stream of engagement money as well, it just adds to the coffers, doesn't it? And adds to the money that can then go towards bigger projects, more ambitious projects,
and
which is what we want them to do.
It's not like they're expecting a certain amount of sales for it to be considered a success. They're not like relying on sales, whereas like previously Yu Suzuki has been like a sales-based developer anti as such. You know, when a game is released to a Sega platform like Shenmue, for example, the future of the series sort of bodes on how many sales. You know, obviously it needs to make money, it needs to be a profit. Whereas these smaller titles probably aren't costing the company as much to do, but they're still getting the income covered, completely covered. And there's no real negative, like, oh, only 5 people played Steel Paws. You know what I mean? No one's really highlighting how many people are playing these games. It's just a game that's on a service that Netflix is selling to people. And look, there's a game by Yu Suzuki on our platform, exclusive to our platform. So people sign up to Netflix games. You know, it's not like the future of Netflix, the future, you know, like it was with Sega, the future Sega relying on Shenmue to be a success. It's not like the future of Netflix relies on Steel Paws to be a success. They've got quite a few other games that I'm sure are equally as worth signing up for. So, yeah, like I think it is a nice low-risk project, and hopefully Yu Suzuki and the team can reap the benefits of these sort of deals, these exclusivity deals, and hopefully some of that money is being put aside for a future Shenmue 4 title.
That's the hope, isn't it?
That is the hope. And with it being on Netflix, I wouldn't have expected there to be like any paid stuff within the platform. Obviously, they just want you to sign up to Netflix, don't you? And then you've got the complete experience. I know Peter, when he heard the news, you know, he was hoping that there would be things where it's like 99p to buy a skin or 99p because he wants to have a way to facilitate a steady flow of money to Yu Suzuki. He was saying like he would go and buy everything and, you know, consistently come back to it and, you know, buy more things each and every month. So because it's directly going to Yu Suzuki, the money is essentially, which is nice in theory. But it's, again, it's not something that needs to rely on an income as such. Just being on Netflix is enough.
Or else your son. Wait. The mirror. It's buried.
But yeah, guys, wow, 25 years. Did anyone all catch Matt's video earlier today? Or, well, a couple of hours ago. Released at 7 PM. Matt's done an amazing job with that video. It's featuring a wealth of talented individuals, like you got Josh Fairhurst on there, Steve Lysett, Magnus, Adam Korolik, yourself, Matt, and a few others that can't quite think of off the top of my head like that on the spot, but
So,
great little video.
Go through the list. There was us two, Steve Lysett, Josh Fairhurst, Adam Korolik, Adam Scipione, Magnus. Trying to think who else was there in that video. Casey, Lewis Cox from Dreamcast Junkyard, Eric Calso. So yeah, there was 10
Eric Calso
in the end, and a nice little message at the end as well that I decided to put together.
Yeah, really fantastic video, guys. Definitely check that out.
To pick up a point that Dave Bell mentioned, that with Netflix being involved with Yu Suzuki, how would we feel about them picking up the Shenmue anime moving forward? Game on. I'd love it.
Wow, that is an interesting thought, actually. That hadn't crossed my mind, but if Netflix are working with Yu Suzuki already, and Yu Suzuki has a project that is like already been a streamable thing, on Crunchyroll. I wonder what the exclusivity deal would be from Crunchyroll.
I don't know.
Is that a 5-year thing?
You alone.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they could buy the rights, couldn't they, and do a season 2?
Your friends.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That
They
would,
could
wouldn't
buy
it?
the rights and get season 1 over there as well. I mean, they have been known to do stuff like that
Those
before.
You love.
Mm,
Close to
So
you.
I think it would be a really
It's-
good move if they could do it.
yeah.
Father.
Well, like seemingly more possible than it was before because they're already working together. So, yeah, I like that. Nice suggestion. I know Matt said hello to everyone, but I have scrolled all the way up to the top of the chat. I'm going to rattle through some messages here. So,
Beautiful.
a lot of people wishing happy 25th anniversary to Shenmue series, of course. I've got my copies here actually from when I did the video. Japanese copy. There's 2, right? So I know this one's the sample, but I think it was released like this, but without the sample, like just a bog standard one. Because the one that's got the sleeve on actually comes with the jukebox CD. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was released like that as well. But yeah, so that's what we're celebrating today. It's the 25th anniversary of this specific version of the game. Loads of people in the chat as well, which is nice to see. We're not going to talk about that RGT guy, are we?
I'm not going to give
think it's
that
worth-
comment the time of day. He knows what he's doing.
No.
It's engagement farming. I ain't giving it any oxygen, and I'll just leave it there. Oh, she's
I just think it's very disrespectful. It's like
yeah, it's incredibly.
these other ways of
disrespectful.
making the same point. You don't say what he said. I think that's bang out of order, really.
It was engagement farming. I mean, I'm guilty of doing it with some of the YouTube titles and things like that. I do it. But not to that level. That for me, as you said, James, is very disrespectful. I wouldn't ever dream of doing something like that. To be that disrespectful towards something, to feel
To anyone, not just for a series that you're meant to be a fan of, and a specific person that sort of touched your heart as a child throughout all of the different types of incredible experiences, not just Shenmue, like the whole of Yu Suzuki's works as a child and growing up with those games. To say something like that is just a horrible thing to read. So that'll be the last we talk about that, I think.
Indeed, we'll move well away from that, I think, and we'll, like I say, focus on the future of the series as well, because it's looking, it is looking good, much brighter than we were a few months ago. So to ignore that stupid comment, just ignore it.
Well, like Abdullah says, it's just unprofessional, which it is. I don't understand how the guy's still. I don't know. Let's leave it there.
Yes, very good. Just going back while you're looking through
Right,
the chat,
Chin Chin.
James. Hannah
Yeah.
gave away a gift sub, so thank you, Hannah, for giving away a gift sub. I think it
Oh,
went to
bro,
Lucy
thanks,
Gold.
Hannah. Smashing stuff. Thank you for that. So Ginger Farrier was saying that he's already got a couple of these, so we're going to offer this to someone else at some point. So again, we'll wait. Maybe in the new year we'll do like a New Year's giveaway, perhaps, Matt.
Yeah.
Give away that. We've got a couple of giveaways today as well, guys. If you hadn't seen already, they are across the board, but specifically on Twitter, the link. We've got one for an original Japanese Shenmue on Dreamcast. Pretty much the one that I've just shown, but not the one that I've just shown because Matt's actually giving this. We've also got a issue 3 of Shenmue World. But that's the one I'm going to link first, just because I've got that to hand. So if you missed out on the Kickstarter, that is something that you wanted, definitely enter that. And there's your original Japanese Shenmue on Dreamcast giveaway link as well.
福さんは
福原さんなら
Um,
道場にいると思いますが、
そうかありがとう
I suppose we should really mention Dreams of Saturn 2 as well. I know,
should.
obviously, Matt played that the other day. It has been updated since Matt played that on Christmas Eve. Was it Christmas Eve? 21st of December, wasn't it? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
How is it that far?
Just
That long ago already?
just
But
over
yeah,
a week ago.
we're up to 2.2 now. So if you haven't downloaded the latest,
I think I
double check actually what. So of note, you can now play the forklift racing and the golf directly from the title screen if that's something that you want. And George has also added a brand new course to the forklift racing section of the game after you've completed it. So there's a new course there. And also after you've finished the game, back on the title screen is sort of like a semi new game plus where you can go back to Debuita and finish up some of the missing achievements and stuff that you missed from, I'm assuming, Dreams of Saturn 1 if it's the Debuita side of things. So really cool actually that he's added that functionality to 2.0. This is a 2.2 build now.
些細なことでもいい何か思い出したら
Beautiful.
教えてくれ
りょうさんなんでそんなことをりょうさんどこに まさかあいつらを探しに
Nikki says, I guess we can only thank Peter Moore for selling out any prospect of Shenmue's success on PS2 to King Good and his new Xbox. Because it wasn't exclusive, right? So I don't understand why did they make a build for PS2, or would it have literally just been Shenmue 1 on the PS2?
それしかないんだ
I don't know. I think they were probably just sort of doing it as a, can we do this? Is this ready? And then any deals that are made, they're almost sort of set to go. I don't know, but then if you've got an Xbox exclusive for Shenmue 2, there's almost no point putting Shenmue on the PlayStation because you're not going to be able to play the
You'd have
next
thought,
game.
right?
Very weird.
Yeah. It is weird, because if that had happened, in a sense, you're marketing the Xbox for Xbox then, because the only way to play the sequel is then to buy an Xbox. I guess.
Exactly. But I do think a full-scale PlayStation 2 launch with 1 and 2, I think we'd be in a different picture now, different
め
ballpark.
ぐみちゃんか
If it was multi-platform,
猫がいるのか
you know, I dare say it probably would have been pretty cool on the GameCube as well.
Well, I'm sure it would run on it, no problem.
Yeah. Funky says, my old copy of Shenmue was long gone. Hopefully it found its way to a new home and didn't end up in the tip.
一人
I
ぼっ
hope
ち
so, man. So, until the re-release of Shenmue series had never been on a successful console, it had... You read that earlier.
Yeah.
If it had a PS2 release, the odds are that it would have reached millions more people and gained more fans. Yeah, I do agree.
黒い車
すごく怖かったって言ってたよ。めぐみ、お姉ちゃんとね、ママ猫のお墓作ったの。代わりに
Vivi Gamer, welcome
めぐ
in.
みのママになってあげるんだ。でも、めぐみのママがね、お家で飼っちゃダメだって言うの。
The Xbox wasn't known for its RPG-ish games, apparently, Vivi says.
みんなもお手伝いしてくれるんだ。
I played
やすお兄ちゃん、
Morrowind.
ちゃんも。
そうか
Probably my first...
God, that's going back.
I was going to say my first open-world RPG. I know Shenmue is technically that. Shenmue is more like an open-world action-adventure game. Like Morrowind is literally, you know, it is an RPG. I played that on the OG Xbox. That wasn't released on PS2, was it? Morrowind.
No, no.
Interesting. GG, welcome across, man. Yeah. Today is the day. Hello, Gogo Sega Gaga. Just catching up, guys.
こうやって食べやすくしてあげるんだ
Matt, is it possible in the videos to change my name from Shenmue Center to Shenmue Village?
Yeah, that's fine. Just nudge me
Shenmue
on
Village
that.
says. Yeah. Welcome in,
子
Hannah.
猫なのに
Happy anniversary to you too.
ひどいよね。
Oh, thank you for the resub daily gaming videos. Much appreciated.
山岸さんが
Cheers, Daily Gaming. Official Jude says, cross my fingers that Yusuke didn't mention Shenmue in his speech due to the fact that he wants to surprise us sometime in 2025 with an announcement of some kind.
That would be nice.
That would be good. So far, subscribed as well. Thank you.
Lovely.
What's going to Netflix, GG says. So that is the latest game from Yu Suzuki and his team called Steel Paws, announced sort of in the pre-show of the Game Awards.
Bye bye.
So to answer a question in chat, this is on PC, with a few little mods kicking around as well. So I've got HD texture mod, I've got sound quality mod, I've got the full screen mod, so it gets rid of the widescreen bars in the cutscenes. I was going to play.
That's a must-have, really.
I was going to play it vanilla and then didn't have the time to uninstall and reinstall it, so that's on me.
I think it looks great, mate. Gigi says, me and some friends have been playing that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on online multiplayer, which is free from Netflix.
Okay.
And they actually have some bangers on there like Sonic Mania as well. It's in good company then. Netflix should take a game like Space Harrier, for example, and have an online...
That'd work, an online leaderboard, something like that. That'd be sweet.
That would be sick, wouldn't it? Kind of gutting that, like, maybe too young and too premature with the internet back in the day to really get to grips with like the leaderboards on the Shenmue Passport. Primitive, not premature. Primitive internet.
To answer the question, how well does the PC version run? Barring the usual, the known flaws in the sound quality without the mods and some other bits and pieces, it actually runs pretty flawlessly on PC. Ooh. And it's normally quite cheap on Steam. You can get it from Steam, Steam PC, and it's pretty cheap. It's in and out of sales all the time. You pay something like a 10 quid maybe.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Payton, Matt, I think he was a little bit busy, wasn't he, for the portion?
Yes, I did approach Ryan, but he's been very, very, very tied up with Batman Arkham Shadows, which is a bloody good game if you've got a MetaQuest 3. I've got one, and it's sick, that game. But he would have done something, but he was so busy with the game and everything else. I can completely understand why he had to give it a miss this time around. But normally Ryan is like on for anything that we do for Shenmue. He's always front of the queue. And there's some others I asked as well that were just busy or couldn't get to it. It's what it is. But we've got a really good selection of people for that video. I was really happy with the end product.
I'm really pleased with the end product, yeah. I think there's a good mix of, different people from different walks of life there. Jude says maybe we need to start adding Netflix to the 4th of the month tweets. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I wouldn't be against the idea. I'd have to rework it for February rather than January, given how close we are. But
true.
I don't think it's a bad idea at all. We lose nothing by doing it, do we?
I know we're sort of pushing Shenmue 4, but I don't know if you want to try 1 month pushing the anime.
I think what you do...
that probably would be a good way of targeting Netflix.
What you end up doing, I think, as well, is almost pushing it by default. So you include Netflix in it, and hopefully they see the trend for the game and then go, oh, what's this? And then get interested and maybe then start following some avenues up. I mean, I think if they picked up the anime on there, I reckon they'd finish. I could see the whole series being finished through the anime, which I know is a controversial subject, but it would give it an out to get it finished. but I think you'd need season 1 over there, or at least access to season 1.
その時のことを聞かせてください。
That would be a good start, at least, if they got season 1 on to Netflix and then sort of see how well it performs alongside the other animes that they've picked up on there. Because a lot more people, I would assume, are subscribed to Netflix than Crunchyroll. Having said that, obviously, if you're into anime, you're probably more likely to be subscribed to Crunchyroll. So I don't know.
They've also picked up, I think, more gaming IP. Netflix. There's Omishima's on there. I want to say Tomb Raider as well. The anime for Tomb Raider is going to be on there. Tekken, that's got an anime.
Castlevania was, I think.
Yeah. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I think that was Netflix as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's quite a number of...
Terminator, I think that was on there as well. I know that's not
Yeah.
particularly a game, but it's within that kind of media, isn't it?
So I think any of those would do the trick. Yeah, Tekken Bloodline.
Are you finding DOS 2, Jim? I haven't managed to get my teeth really sunk into it. I'm still playing. I started it last night for the first time because I've actually finished with all the shipping now. Finally, so I can sort of hopefully have a little bit more time to myself. I'm sort of penciling in January as like a me month almost. So we've got a couple of things to do. Like Matt says, the end of year video. We're going to be recording that tomorrow, most likely. And I don't know, anything else coming up, Matt? The 4th, obviously we've got the 4th of January stream.
Yeah.
But then after that, I'm hoping to take a little bit of a breather and start playing some games.
Yeah, I know you feel
My
that.
mentality now though, Matt, because I'm like constantly working, like obviously I'm full-time employed, and then I get home, and then whatever free time I've been working on, like packaging, working on Shenmue World, like the last 2 or 3 months, insane amount of, you know, work. I've got that kind of mentality now that I kind of feel a little bit bad for doing anything that isn't work related. I'm like always focusing on work, if that makes sense. So it's just sitting down and playing a game, I feel a little bit like I'm wasting some time here.
You need a healthy balance
Hopefully.
between it, don't you?
Yeah. But I did really enjoy it. I played for 2 hours last night. Back to sort of the DOS 1 section of things. I just wanted to start from scratch and just fully have that complete package enjoyment, if you know what I mean. Rather than just sort of diving in halfway. And actually the quality of life improvements George has made to the original DOS, I think is good. Like, there's a button, I don't know if it was there before, but there's a button now linked to the controller. It's like the left bumper. And I didn't think I'd want to use it, but because I'm replaying the DOS 1 portion, and I've kind of already done this, and all of like my collections have reset, like the Chobi-chans, the cassette tapes, etc., are all back to 0. I've been using that R bumper, or left bumper, sorry, because it sort of puts all these little blue icons onto the screen to show you where things are located. So now I can finally see where all those cassette tapes are on top of the roofs of buildings, and all the Chobu-chans that are, you know, quite difficult to find in some places. You can actually pinpoint them. The herbs as well. It puts all little blue icons every time you press the left bumper. So I've been using that, and that is a good quality of life improvement in my opinion. Had fun trying to find the piggies again, because George has moved the piggies in different locations in the house this time around than the first time. So that sort of threw me at first. But yeah, definitely highly recommend Dreams of Saturn, of course.
It is very good, and somebody mentioned in chat further up that we're not doing a playthrough of Dreams of Saturn tonight. We're not, because it's the Shenmue 25th anniversary, but I do plan on finishing Dreams of Saturn 2 on stream at some point, be it this week coming, because we've got a stream on the 4th, or a later stream. I do intend on finishing it on stream. I have finished it myself. I've done that over Christmas, and it's the ending was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And also to
So George kind of didn't want it to be spoilt, did he? Just yet?
Yeah, so
to give people enough time.
I think I could be wrong, but I was probably among the first people to finish it.
Right.
So I'm sort of holding fire just a little bit on streaming the ending of that, because I don't think it's a good idea. And if George is waiting, then I'm going to obviously hang fire on that. We've got first time chatter in Raven, arriving, says doesn't matter what avenue it takes, once the whole story gets told eventually. And I think there is that sort of mentality around it, the longer things go on. But with obviously in games picking up Shenmue 3, that could well change things again in terms of that sort of dynamic and how we end up moving forward.
Interesting. See, won't it? What happens with the in-ins, really?
I think that's going to be very
so
interesting.
we got... well, yeah. Especially if they add anything to it. So Samian's asking, what would you like to have added in the in-in really? I'd really like to see the fighting controls prompt fleshed out a little bit more. So we have kind of gone through this a little bit, right, Matt? We've spoke about this. Was it previous stream or on a podcast, perhaps? Was it? Oh, what?
We did the
when we were discussing the news, weren't we?
Yes.
We were discussing the news of in game, broke everything down, like the company, etc. And then we went through the list that sort of, because there's like a really nice forum topic on the dojo where people added their own sort of thoughts and feelings to what they'd like changed in the re-release of Shenmue 3, so we went through that. But I'd be very interested to hear if anyone's got any other suggestions for what they'd like to see changed in Shenmue 3, the re-release. Scribe, yeah, weird that Japan and North America got limited edition. Didn't get anything. Not sure why, yeah. Pretty nice little CD as well, so like a compilation of all of the jukebox songs. Idris says he's adding DOS 2 to my early cycle of playing Shenmue.
Excellent, good shout. Hey Stu, welcome in. Didn't see you drop in.
Shanson, I'm betting on an in-in announcement this week. Optimistic, I know. See, they did sort of make it sound like they'd, celebrate something today, and they haven't done yet, right?
No, they haven't.
But again, it is a Sunday.
It is a Sunday. It's Christmas. People are at work, aren't at work, and so. But people do go back to work this week, so maybe there would be something. I don't know. I think what we need to be a little bit careful of is sort of the weight of expectation of how quick this stuff can move, because gaming deals, things don't always move quickly. We need to give them the space to, I think, do what they need to do. I don't think this is a 110 Industries job where, whether there was something going on or not, they sort of leverage the community for their own gain a little bit. I don't see that here, and I've said this in the videos that I've done. This feels a little bit different. So we need to give them, I think, the time and the space to do what they need to do or what they want to do. I don't know what that's going to be. That could be anything. But what I do feel is they have the series sort of future at heart and what they want to do. So hopefully that then comes through in whatever comes through from them, be it next week, next month, later on in the year. Yeah, we'll just see where we end up with it.
Agreed. Vivi says he got duped on the Shenmue Orchestra soundtrack, sadly. Fake copy. So you've got the ever anime version, right? Yeah, I think that's caught everyone out over the years. Hannah, Shenmue World 3 is a catch. What a giveaway. Yeah, get on board, guys, with that. Thank you for saying. Getting there, I think. Let's get some of this stuff. Danielle says, am I the only one that dreams every year of an Outrun 3?
No, I'd love an Outrun 3.
Yeah, I think everyone would, right? Especially because of how amazing Outrun 2 was as well. It's not like there was a dip in quality.
That game is chronically underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is amazing. Is there any way to buy Shenmue World? There's potentially a few issue 3s remaining, but nothing else, just issue 3. We're falling out, Jim.
Oh yeah, your sound dropped out for a second. I think it's okay now though.
I don't know why it's doing that, you know.
No, I don't. Very
I'm
strange.
wondering if it's because I'm using. I wonder if it's because I'm using the front USB on my PC. Might not be as fast as one of the back USBs.
Possibly.
Would that matter?
I don't know. It shouldn't do, but what do I know?
It is like a really old computer now, Matt.
How old is it?
Well, last time you asked me, it was like 11 years old, so it must be 12 now.
Oh bloody hell! Done pretty well, in fairness.
I've got USB 3 ports on the back. I don't know if that helps with a regular USB cable.
It's faster data transfer, but then the cable needs to be able to support it.
Okay. Would the Yeti cable be that?
I
Like out of the box, or do I need to get a different cable?
Probably USB 2.1, I would have thought.
Okay.
But I don't.
Yeah, that could be why.
It's
just because I couldn't be asked to get round the back of the computer. I just
put
plugged it in the front.
The fact that we're running it through the internet, and you know what the internet can be bloody like.
Yeah, apologies if I do cut out, guys. Hopefully you can be getting everything, and I'm not just sort of saying like Shenmue. What could I say? And like it cuts out a word and makes me say something that I shouldn't be saying.
I know, like Yu Suzuki, then cuts out sucks. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think that go down very well.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
You know what I mean? Could be taken out of context.
Yeah, no.
And used against me. George has also added 2 new cutscenes and plans for 10 more. Okay. So yeah, definitely pick up 2.2.
George is very busy working on that. I don't know how he finds the
He's still updating it. Yeah,
mad, isn't it? The amount of updates he's done on that.
He is mad. Within the space of hours as well, and days. I think he sleeps. Shenmue was groundbreaking when it first came out on Dreamcast. I hope with Shenmue he can magic and create something unlike it. Well said, Matthew.
This run ain't great on him.
Kind of thinks a launch on the PS2 would have changed everything.
I do. I stand by that. I reckon it would have done.
Jonathan D says, do you think Shenmue will be on Switch one day?
It should be.
I don't
Whether
think it's out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
Could be Switch 2, maybe.
Oh, bollocks.
It was also weird to get Shenmue 2 on Dreamcast without the English dub. Yeah, it was back in the day.
Yeah, it was a bit, like, it threw me a little bit.
Through me, mate. I was in the settings menus for ages thinking, where's the English voices?
I think I had to go online somewhere to find out what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it made that very clear, did it?
No, it didn't.
Maybe it did in magazines, but obviously I was probably too young to really think of that.
Well, they carry on hunting around.
Sheep says if they did release Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PS2 and the games probably wouldn't know each other, there would be no Shenmue Dojo.
It's a valid point.
Interesting. Yeah. I think a lot of like the beauty of Shenmue, in a way, is the fact that there was like no Shenmue news, and we all wanted Shenmue news, and we all sort of came together as one to make that point clear. Whereas, like, if games are just being released, you sort of take it for granted, don't you, and just play them. And I don't know. I still think there would have been a message board talk about the games.
Just the community probably wouldn't have been as strong, would it? If we'd have.
Wouldn't be as strong. I don't know if would we be as passionate. I don't know.
I don't know.
Did it create passion? The fact that we were like pining for something for so long, did that create the passion that we have for Shenmue? And I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
この辺りで
中国人が
あいえ
もしかし
はい
あいや中国人
Yeah, that's what Sheep says. We were all here due to the struggle of wanting more Shenmue.
お願いします
この辺りの中国人って言っても
Which is insane, really, that we've been going. You know, the Shenmue's been going 25 years. The dojo's 24 years old. 25 in November 2025. That's scary.
Santo って
So Cordy TV says, can you indicate in the title the platform running on or streaming Shenmue?
We can
It
do.
does actually say there is categories. It says PC.
この辺りに
床屋さん
Yeah, it is. We're all running the PC build, of course.
入院してておうち最近
じゃあ前田さんとわかりました
Strictly Sega Europe says, am I crazy or is the Japanese voices better? This might be. I don't. Are you playing it in Japanese? It
I
might just be the audio restoration mod, right, that you're using?
Yeah, possibly. But I do think they sound slightly better.
Like, not as compressed as the English. God, I'm miles behind, aren't I, really? Sorry, guys. I'm reading chat from like 20 minutes ago still. Shenson asks, what do you think of his new keyword for 2025, which was like keeping more active, right?
Yeah, just keep
I know
active.
It is interesting choice of words. I know he does sort of mention exercising and wanting to be more active, like an outdoorsy sort of thing. But could he mean active as well, like making games?
Possibly. Possibly. Could be both. Could have a double meaning.
Yamagishi さん
おおりょうくんか
こんな時間にどうしたんですか
Dojo's been old
Gigi
enough-
says I had to get rid of the audio restoration mod because when I'm playing and have subtle torturous frequency that squeals. Yeah, I hate that as well.
Yeah, it's not too bad in my earphones, but I can see why that would be
It's
annoying.
not too bad with the music on, but when I was recording all the voice lines for Sukapai, I had to edit out those high pitch things.
But that took a while.
I don't know
as
if that
well.
was like, yeah, I don't know if that was like just part of the audio restoration thing that was like a bit of a glitch, or is that literally the original and it's like a cue almost? Do you know what I mean? Like a voice actor
Yeah,
cue.
yeah.
Like a beep. Maybe like bleed of a beep or something. Right,
山
trying
岸さ
to
んその
smash
技
through this chat.
昔岩尾くんにも教えた
Terminator anime on Netflix was very good. I do want to watch.
親父に
It does look good.
古来より意気投合した武術家同士は
Adnan,
互
welcome.
いに技を交換して友情を深めたのだ ちょうどいいこれも何かの縁だろう君に教えようと思うがどうかね
Thank you for the third Kickstarter Shenmue magazine. You're welcome.
ぜひお願いします
The third and final issue.
全は急げだ今ここで教えよう古武術の
Oh, Matt, you just watched Sonic, didn't you? Was that yesterday?
Great film. I do you know what?
Amazing film.
I think I prefer 2 over 3, but that's just a personal thing. Not 3's a great film.
全身し同時に腕と足に力を込め長打を放つ
Oh, half of that sentence broke up for me, Matt.
I think, do you know what? I think it's my internet more than anything else.
素早く重心を前に移すんだ
Stream seems alright.
Can you repeat what you said?
Yes, with Sonic 3, I was saying I enjoyed the film, great film, but I think I prefer the second film over the third.
Oh, interesting.
さすがは葉月家の跡取り
Possibly agree with you in the sense that Sonic 3 felt like it was high octane the whole way through, whereas like Sonic 2 had these sort of quieter moments. It felt more like a start, a middle, and an end. Whereas like Sonic 3 was just constant, if that makes sense.
I also felt
Like from the start, there was like action.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
the whole film was action.
Yeah, and Stuart said the same thing. I also felt, and this is just my personal opinion on this, without giving too many spoilers away, because I think we all know what game it was following. I thought it took too many liberties with that game's story for me,
Okay.
but that was just a personal thing. But I still enjoyed the film. I'd recommend it to any Sonic fan. There were some nice little nods in there as well. This isn't a spoiler, but when they jump out the helicopter early on, and the line they say as they jump out the helicopter, yeah, that sort of thing, just spot on, wasn't it?
Scribe says Sonic 3 movie is awesome, really has the feels. Missed some of the buddy cop elements with Donut Lord, but was awesome. Best scene was the Eggman laser dance. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
That was funny. See, a lot of people don't like the human characters. Like, I was watching the Angry Joe Show's review of Sonic 3, and they were saying, like, it's filmed so far, like all three, because there's less human characters. They really, really hate the humans in a sense. But I quite like that sort of stuff. The relationship with Sonic and the, you know, Tom and yeah. Clunk says, thought I had when I was replaying Shenmue 1 before. Its colour palette is so grey, all the buildings. I personally prefer that look as well. I've said this in the past, but I've thought that Shenmue 2 is a little bit too colourful. Like, unrealistically colourful. I don't know if that was a design choice or what, but everything looks very like bright, and there's a lot of like reds and yellows, and like you say, like Shenmue 1 looks very industrialized. It just looks more realistic and of the period and the sort of the location it's replicating. Interesting. Shenmue Village says Sonic 1 is still his personal favourite.
Oh, fair play.
They're all pretty good. I'd probably go 2, 3, 1 personally.
I would. Yeah, I'd go the same.
But 2 and 3 are like neck and neck. Like 3 was incredible. Actually, we're a bit teary in a couple of parts in 3.
Yeah. I thought it was well done. It was relentless though. It's bam, 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 bam. It probably need another half an hour, I think, just to let it breathe a little bit. But yeah, that's just like being overly critical, I guess. But yeah, I'd recommend it to any Sonic fan.
There's an interesting point from Samian going back to the Shenmue 3 stuff. He says, I'd like the combat from Battle Rally incorporated into the main game. Now, did you think that the Battle Rally had different combat, or it's very much more like on-path combat, isn't it? Like you're constantly running. It does feel nice, and I know what he means. Like Battle Rally felt nice.
Yeah, I see what's being said. I mean, the engine itself doesn't change. There's no changes to the engine, how it runs, or anything of the sort. I do think that sort of running, taking down enemies, that sort of thing, it's good fun. And I think it probably shows the engine off better because of that.
Yeah.
But I've always said this about the engine in Shenmue 3, the fighting engine. It just needed longer in the oven. It really did. But that's what happens when a game gets forced out probably a year earlier than it needed to. But there's obviously business reasons for that, and I'm not going to go down that road here. But I did like the Battle Rally combat. I thought it was excellent.
And it says, I have faith in we shall see. 2025 just might be our year for good news again. Again, meaning that we got Shenmue 3 and some amazing fan games like DOS 1, 2 with more planned. Yeah, I think 2025 has a potential to get like a big announcement as well. I think.
I'd hope so.
See what happens with the Shenmue 3 side of things, but hopefully in-game games sort of double down, I reckon. on Shenmue. Especially after the sort of fan response they've had. I think that sort of took them by surprise.
I think it did, because it's like, if you look at their socials, I think we said this in the last stream, it's always, if Shenmue stuff comes up, their social media goes boom, it spikes, doesn't it, every time.
Yeah. Rhino, oh, welcome, man. Says, hey guys, just want to say publicly how amazing, unreal. Don't know of another. There's so much quality in it and so much depth too. Well done, team. Wow.
Sorry, you broke up.
Hearing that. Thanks, man.
Broke up, James. I didn't catch all of it.
Broke up. Oh. I was just reading Rhino's praise about Shenmue World, but
oh, fantastic.
I'll leave it there. But it was appreciate that, Rhino. Guppy Koi just wants Baisha added. Hannah, Shenmue World is pathetic. As in, like, it's good.
Play a bit more. Hang on. Scotty, I run on autopilot, having played this so much. If you're like a first-time viewer of Shenmue, looking at the game for the first time, I'm probably not showing it off in the best light, but yeah, I do play it a little bit on autopilot these days.
Need to slow down with the chat, guys. A sec. Let me just catch up.
Let's give this another go.
Did anyone else not know on Super Hang-On for Mega Drive, if you hit 280 kilometers, you can press C for a boost? Oh yeah, we know that. That's the whole super point of it, isn't it? Who thinks that the mini console fad is all over?
I seem to agree, actually. I think it probably is over, unfortunately.
Yep. Sammy, what do you think about the new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds? Will it include the Sega All-Stars this time, or will it focus only on Sonic? See, from the trailer, to me, it looked like it was going to focus only on Sonic, a bit like Team Sonic Racing, but after thinking about it and speaking with other people, like the Cross Worlds thing could be. Or the Sega properties again. I hope so. Because I think Sega has some really strong properties that it could combine with these days, like your Yakuza series, your Personas.
Yeah, loads.
There's a lot of stuff, really, that you can make tracks out of these days. And then obviously dip into the sort of the retro side of things, but along with like the upcoming releases like your Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, you know, those big 5 games, Golden Axe and Streets of Rage, you could really market the whole company with this Team Sonic Racing type of game like they did back in the day, but like they really could market on that, capitalize on that now more than ever, because when you think when Sonic and All Stars Racing came out, or Team Sonic Racing Transformed, sorry, it was a great mix of properties, but how many people played Transformed really know what Burning Rangers is, for example? Whereas like now, I feel like there's a lot of things that are upcoming for Sega and have been recent success for Sega, and then you've got Virtua Fighter as well upcoming, that if they did combine that into a big Sonic racing game, that does really, really market the whole company and all avenues taken with the movie features and stuff like that. All the franchises that they're making movies on, I think it could be a real winner, to be honest. But like Stuart says, I think it will probably just be Sonic.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see if we can do
Matt's
this.
killing it on Hang On. Considering the fan base of Nintendo around the time, do you think Shenmue on Dreamcast series? Do you mean the GameCube?
Yeah,
I
you did
feel
mean
like you may
GameCube.
have-
There's a comment further down,
Yeah.
he corrected it.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, GameCube. What do you think to that, Matt? Did you answer that? I don't know.
I didn't. I'd been interested to see it. I don't know if it has shifted GameCubes though. Quite frankly, it didn't shift Xboxes, so I don't think it has shifted GameCubes. But
Yeah. True.
not to say it couldn't have done. I just personally don't think it would have. Oh bugger! I got really put out there. Fuck.
Welcome in Scotty Moe as well. I know that was a while ago.
Right up.
Get in there, don't worry.
Oh.
Cool. Playing Shenmue on that tiny GameCube D-pad would have been torture.
Don't think it'd have been particularly easy. Put it that way. Oh, this has gone wrong. He missed the G, which doesn't
Shut up,
help.
punch your face.
Ah.
Vivi says, just watched Sonic 2 again, got Knuckles for Christmas and hoping to see Sonic 3 soon. What did you think of the Knuckles show, Matt?
Oh, it was okay. A little bit cheesy. Like, solid 6.5 out of 10. But I did not like it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it should have been better.
It did
for what it was.
feel a tiny bit of a cash grab, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, not bad at all. Oh, to answer questions about
Sonic.
the billboard, just to say I did send an email off just this week, and they're still working on it apparently.
I don't know what they're working on.
Fuck knows what they're working on. It's not hard. They didn't bloody show, and we've got proof.
Yeah, I don't know what more evidence you need, really. If we'd have done like a 4-hour constant stream of footage, Matt, do you reckon that would have been enough evidence?
Wow. I don't know. Seems silly to me.
よなんだあの人たちは船員ですか
Fucking annoying is what it is. We'll see anyway. Like, it's with their management. I'll wait to hear. If they don't give me the answer I like, I will be kicking off.
Yeah.
あそこにいるのはわからねえ直接聞きなただし
Vivi says, replayed Sonic Adventure 1, still peak Sonic for me despite the bug. It's definitely my favourite Sonic game of all time. Would be nice actually if, I know they've touched on it a little bit with the Master Emerald side of things, say Knuckles wise.
Yeah.
What the Sonic Adventure 1 adaptation, you know, with Chaos
I think they
to
need
film.
They'll
would
do
be
that.
pretty sick,
They'll
wouldn't it?
do that at some point, won't they? Maybe that's part of the reason they're like slowly introducing characters and things. Like they obviously Tails was introduced, Knuckles was introduced. So
Don't spoil.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. You're saying E102 next then?
Try your luck.
Yeah, Samian says, so the combat and battle rally was much... I do tend to agree, actually. There is something about it. It does feel a lot smoother, almost. I don't know why.
I don't care if it goes wrong.
No.
Boom!
Unbelievable.
So Scotty Merrill, he's asking, are you running on automatic or
No.
this? Really great sort of multitasking mentality, I find, where you can play the game, you can read the chat better than I'm doing, and all I'm doing is just focusing on the chat, to be honest.
There we go, nailed it. Nailed it.
James's sound is cutting a lot.
Yeah, it's dropping in and out. I don't know. I think it's internet issues. We'll have to have a look at that at some point. I don't think it's
I wonder if it's my end.
could be my end in fairness.
Because it was like this last stream, right?
It was.
So I didn't know, because Well, I didn't know.
どけよ
Thank you for telling me. I'll try and fix it somehow.
What?
Go home. Hey, you.
In fact, what I will do, I've reached the bottom of this chat. I will go away for a minute, Matt, and just unplug
Yeah.
from the front and
Alright.
I'll plug it in the back of the computer.
No problem.
Because I am nearly there now. In fact, I've reached the bottom. What are your guys' favourite martial arts movies?
Oh, that's a question.
I'm a sucker for Rumble in the Bronx. You know,
That's
I
a good
mentioned
film.
that in the Christmas stream, yeah. I do like the majority of Jackie Chan films. And Jet Li, I had a thing for back in the day. Yeah, I'd probably say Rumble in the Bronx.
俺に構うな
ガキのくせに生意気な。痛え目見てえのか。ほら。
Right, give me 2 minutes, guys.
I absolutely love this sequence.
Do you want me to leave the chat, Matt, or will it not? Will it fuck up if I unplug my mic?
It might be worth leaving because when you drop back in, I can just drop you straight through.
Okay.
And then give it a second while it kicks through. But yeah, I love this cutscene. The QTEs. Are Ryo and Kiryu really similar? No, I wouldn't have said so. Very different characters, I think.
密輸ブローカーで裏の世界に顔が利くその中国の組織ってやつも知っているはずだ
どこにいる
Ryo seems a lot more grounded, I think, than Kiryu.
ハーレーだその辺のバイクショップを当たってみな
チャーリーの格好は
やつはいつもグラサンに黒い革ジャンだそれと腕に入れ墨を入れてたな
腕に入れ墨
話は終わりだ消えな
Imagine a live-action Shenmue film with the same love and care that Sonic movies had. Yeah, I'd be all over it as well. Hiki did a blog post talking about a live-action Shenmue film. And was talking about who could potentially do it and be the actors in it. I'd have to find the link. Or get James to find it when he comes back and rejoins us. Let's carry on. Right, let's... because we're a bit late in, I'm going to... Oh, I think James is coming back in. Yo.
Yo, did that work? Can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you. Have another go. Hang on.
Let's see how that goes. I plugged it in a USB 3 port, so I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Let's see. Let me know if I break up ever again.
It sounds all right at the moment. Actually, it's sounding good. Let's play some darts. Actually, I haven't played some darts for a while.
That's
And in the
Police Story. Yeah. It's a good film.
And in the vein of the PDC Darts World Championship at the moment, I'm going to channel my inner Luke Littler and play darts in Shenmue.
Nice.
Oh. Let's see how we get on here. So
Clunky.
far, so good.
Right, very important question. Should I read Shenmue World issues in release order or jump straight into issue 3?
Oh, that's a question.
Isn't it? Because technically, I don't know, there's a couple of like ongoing articles, isn't there? Like I've got all of Yu Suzuki's China research trip. So you probably would want to start from issue 1 from that. And also Peter's Shenmue Dojo history, if that's new to you. I probably would say actually go start from the first issue. And in fact, you'll see like the quality of the issues getting better and better rather than the other way around.
There you go.
Well,
one day I will finish that history section because I wrote it up to the release of Shenmue 3 after Peter did his bit, and I've never touched it ever again.
Well, it's up to you next, isn't it, Matt? To be fair, you're going to be taking over the reins, the history.
Well, you've got one for Shenmue
that's
World
for
issue. You've got
Peter
one
wants
for
to.
issue 4, so that's fine. I just need to write the next one. I just never find the time
Yeah.
to do it.
To be fair, there was you wrote a lot, mate. So
Oh shit.
惜しいな。
yeah, I mean, the quality of issue 1 is it's still fairly
あ
decent
と1
actually.
ゲームできるぞ。
But to me, there's like some things that doesn't look as good.
よし。
I guess it's like anything, isn't it? The more you do it, the more practice, the better quality. Do you think of like George's game Dreams of Saturn, the things he learned making that he's implemented in Dreams of Saturn 2? It's a natural progression, isn't it?
Like, let me just show you for comparison, Clunky. I know you've got the magazines there, but this was... Ooh, it's going to be difficult to show this, actually. This was Eric Calso's interview, which is a great interview, but obviously my design skills at the time weren't the best. So, I mean, it looks
good.
nice, actually. It looks good. But then compare that to sort of like the introduction page for
やった。
issue 3's Liesel, or Liesel. And I love like how,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? It looks
Oh shit.
really nice.
当たった。
I wasn't paying fucking attention there, was I?
Oops, I'm going off camera, sorry.
ラストか。まずまずかな。
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying with that.
ラストゲームか。
But there is some really nice bits in issue 1 as well, where I was like, in fact, there's probably some pages that you can tell I did later, if you know what I mean, like as I was getting more skilled at stuff. Like I really like how I made this Guilin spread here
まずまずかな。
Yeah, that looks cool.
in issue 1. That's nice.
Like the Polaroid photos on it.
Yeah, that was me toying with. So this image of like Guilin, this is like a screenshot, which you don't really see actually. But in Shenmue 2, if you look into the distance, there's such a nice. I know it's probably a flat texture, but just the way that they designed it, it looks like it's an ongoing series of mountains, doesn't it? You know, with this
Yeah.
ま
smoke
ず
and
まず
stuff.
かな。
Not smoke, but I guess it's like condensation or wind, or what would you call that? Like a sort of a cloud.
やった。
Yeah, like
It's not really clouds, but it's like sort of white-topped mountains, isn't it? But with
最後の一歩。
atmosphere. I don't know what that's called.
it's like a
But for ages, I was like playing around with that screenshot just to get that sort of, to me, is like a perfect balance of mountain and
it's like a
not
haze,
in
isn't
the-
it, over the mountains?
like a haze. Yeah. This
まずまずかな。
backer name thing didn't come out as well as I expected it to. Fog, yeah, fog could be a thing.
よし。
So I was like playing around with the tools, and I managed to get like
兄ちゃん
a nice idea of wrapping everyone's name
あげるよ
in a circular, which I thought was a really cool design technique. But obviously, it makes trying to find your name an absolute nightmare. And there was a couple of people that picked up on that. They were saying like, it's a
だいぶ遅く
a
なった。
shame like the name thing was a little bit hard to find the name in. I really like the Erin article actually in issue 1.
Yeah, that's a good.
This was like just as I was coming on to like some good sort of design style. I quite like how that's designed. I don't know why, but also the like issue 1 felt really high quality when it arrived originally, but when I compare it to like issue 2 and 3, I feel like even the printers like stepped up quality.
一回どうぞ
Like it just issue 2 feels nice to touch for some reason. I don't know why. It feels cooler,
外れか。
like temperature wise.
ああそうっすか残念っすね
3, I don't know why, but 3 feels thicker.
It does, doesn't it? Whether that's the paper quality makes it feel
Yeah,
that way.
it even looks thicker. Like I showed you that in person, didn't I, Matt?
Yeah,
And
you did.
it's weird. I don't know why. It's definitely thicker, which makes the spine mess up a little bit, unfortunately. Sorry, Matt, I interrupted you.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Someone in chat's asking, is there any way to buy these? There might be to buy issue 3, but James has got obviously finished the shipping. He's got a few issues of issue 3 going to Canada because they're all on strike at the moment, and he's sending out copies to people who contributed at the moment. So watch this.
Exactly.
Watch this
so I've got to be a
space.
little bit careful. Like, I don't want to commit to anything just yet, just because I need to make sure I've got enough, because there's 2 people as well that never filled in the Kickstarter survey, so it could be a chance that randomly they fill it in, or they message me and say, I'm sorry I missed this, and obviously they've already paid, so I need to make sure that I've got those set aside just on the off chance that they get back and obviously they want theirs. And then, like Matt says, there's 7, I think, to Canada that are in limbo at the moment just because of the postal strikes. And yeah, I'm sending some to, like, obviously people that were involved with articles and stuff like that. But then after that, see, this time around, like, the reason why we've been able to make more items, which is great, is because I kept the quantities lower. So rather than like investing more in more quantity of stock for each item, and obviously the costs increase for those items then because I've got more quantity, I kept it like a little bit more riskier, I would say, in a sense. Like, I made sure that I had like at least 50 more than the amount of people that needed. But then as you start going through stuff, you sort of see like, oh, the quality of a couple of things isn't great. Like some of the prints might have a smudge on it or something like that, like just a printing smudge. So there's a couple of like things that I've had to veto. So risky in a sense, but keeping the quantities down low allowed us to make more items. So you got the benefits of like having a lot more with issue 3, which is probably like sort of the way I'll go in the future as well. I'll probably try and keep the quantities of order consistent with the amount of people that want stuff, and I always order a little bit more anyway, just in case something goes missing. See, I kind of got to factor that in case any issue 3s go missing.
Yeah.
Got to keep a couple aside for that as well. But so far so good, touch wood. Everything's tracked, so I can always claim any missing things back, and obviously with it being tracked I can tell if it's actually been delivered or not.
Oh, welcome in, Frogbull. Hope you're doing well.
俺なんてまだ脇が開く癖が治ってないのに。そうだ、りょうさん。できればお手本を見せてくれませんか？
Let's give Fukusan a demo.
Cheers, Sean.
ああ、いいよ。じゃあまず俺がやります。姿勢が乱れてないかよく見ててください。
Did you design the whole thing yourself? Mostly.
GTA 3 release on Dreamcast at midnight tonight. I've been watching that project closely. That's looking good.
Oh, nice, Frogbull. Nice.
Looking really good. Pop a link in if you want for it. It's almost like...
But yeah, the... Sorry, man. The Adam Dory pages.
Yes.
The Adam Dory pages in issue 3, he designed them himself. So that was easy for me. That was like literally just sort of drag and drop. Which I do appreciate, actually. But yeah, I think everything else, at least page layout, etc. Obviously everyone else has written the articles themselves or provided the fan art, the images, all the screenshots are my own. For example, the anime guide obviously was written by Stuart Peacock.
Oh yes, yeah.
And also I used a mixture of screenshots that he'd taken that were on his website, and some of the screenshots that you took, Matt, from back in the day that were on the Dojo media files.
God, I've got hundreds of them knocking around.
Yeah, issue 3 is my favourite, you know, actually. Going through it now.
There we go. Being an idiot. There's a shock.
I know it took up a lot of pages, but the Chobu-chan guide I was like pretty proud of.
Thorough guide, that.
Very thorough guide, yeah. Great fan art again this time. Rhino, I wonder who will be Shenmue World 4's big interview. I hope it's the fine and dandy guy. If you can find whoever that is, mate, yeah.
I do wonder, issue 4, big interview, because obviously you've had Corey, Liesel and Eric for the issues 1 to 3.
Some people want me to get Paul. I reckon Paul would do it.
I reckon Paul would do it.
And I think Paul is probably like the most undocumented of the 4 voice actors there, those major 4.
Agreed, actually.
I don't feel like I've heard really too much of Paul's backstory. I think he may have been on a podcast before. Like Casey, did he have Paul Lucas on once?
Possibly a
But
while
other than
back.
that, not too familiar with Paul as I am the other 3, so that might be an interesting one. And obviously he voiced both Landy and Chai, so he's got a couple of characters under his belt. It's nice getting like the signatures of these sort of people as well, because like, you know, when am I ever going to be in front of someone like Paul Lucas? I don't know. I don't know if I ever will.
Have you reached out to him for an interview? We have. That's obviously pending at the moment, but we have asked. I'm fairly confident they'll do one at some point. I have asked.
Yeah, definitely.
Any news on
Dennis
Shenmue 4 yet? Not yet, but we're hoping for some Shenmue 4 news at some point in 2025. But we'll see.
So Gigi asks an interesting question. Is there any way to get the Afterburner prize before Kowloon in Shenmue 2? Because all of the pawn shops have prices for the mini set, but it seems you can't complete the set until Kowloon. Because obviously you can't play Afterburner 2 until the Phoenix building, is it?
That's right, yeah, because it's the one where you fight
Rod Stunt.
Rod Stunt, that's it, yeah. Yeah, it's Rod Stunt.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Scotty Mo. I don't really take praise well, man, but I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Go to the Weezer.
Sean Holio said he thought issue 3 seemed thicker. Maybe they got the page thickness wrong. I don't know, but it's exactly the same specification. But I wouldn't put it past them to like use a slightly thicker paper by mistake. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. If you put both pages, like a page from issue 2 and a page from issue 3, I don't know. I can't tell to feel. They both feel the same thickness to me. So I don't understand how that is. I think maybe it's just a much tighter binding with issue 2. I don't know. Ooh, Nerds and Other Legends says, I just found out that there's a Shenmue 3. Mad, isn't it? People like can only just be discovering of the fact that like Shenmue 3 got made.
I know, but I mean, I guess it is for us because we've been around for years, but people discovering Shenmue for the first time, whatever. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy it when you get to playing it.
あなた店また来るです。親父さんおすすめ食べにでも。
ああ、当時さんたちによろしく伝えてくれ。
僕わかった。親父さんたち伝えるです。
Any chance you can get
Print
winning
more.
hand for the waiter? I've never seen it. Strictly Sega Europe. Never seen it.
用事あるです。
Not to say you can't, but I haven't personally seen it. I also think James, the sound quality is much better. Seems to be more stable.
Oh, okay. It's not broken since. Is it broken at all since?
If it has, I didn't hear it. I think it's
Right.
much better.
That must be the fix then. I'll stop using... To be fair, it was last stream is when it's the first time I plugged it in the front of the computer. So whether I've got like a dodgy USB port. You can read issue 1 on the Dojo website actually. I do intend... I intended to do it with issue 2 actually. I just never got around to it. Because I took a bit of a break actually after issue 2 and I just never got back to recreating the interactive thing that you can do on the Dojo for issue 1. But I will definitely do an issue 2 and an issue 3 that you can read full screen on the Dojo. And at some point I need to set up the PDF files and send them off to the backers as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to pay for any of the digital files.
No. It's all part of it.
The only reason, like, we did a Kickstarter is literally just to make a physical product. Because, you know, we're from that era, aren't we, that we like physical things. I'm not sure if I'd have the incentive as well to continue making issues if they were just digital, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Like part of the beauty for me is like having something that feels like I've made something. The Canadian strike thing's been going on for ages, actually.
Months and months, isn't it?
They're going to be massively behind. I know what it's like over here. Like if we, like over COVID, we were down to about 6 workers in our office, and we just couldn't keep on top of it. It took us like a couple of weeks just to catch up, just from like COVID. So months. It's going to be crazy. Like if you miss a day at work and you've got no one to cover a walk, for example, 2 days, it's an insane amount. It's one of the few jobs where you literally can't take a day off, if you know what I mean. Like if something fails at Royal Mail, it's extra work. It's not like an office job where, you know what I mean, Matt, like if you're answering calls or you're on the phone, you've got double the amount to do the next day. It's kind of like quite consistent, whereas like this is like the more days that you're off from, it just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking. It's got to get done at some point. So I don't know how the Canadian postal workers...
Oh, they're screwed.
I think that is literally why they completely shut down the ability to post something to Canada. So like when I was going through the postage, shipping off issue 3s, there's literally no services for Canada on Royal Mail. So you couldn't send something if you wanted to. So I think that is going to help, obviously, because there's not a million things in limbo.
I wouldn't want to be sorting that out, put it that way, when they go back, if they go back.
Oh, Stu, cool. I love how the anime guy came out. Originally, I don't know if I ever said this, but we were going for that kind of Simpsons episode guide look.
Oh,
so you know,
yeah,
the Simpsons had those big meaty books back in the day where like it was going through every episode. So we were going for like a breakdown of the episode, some pictures, screenshots, and then some bits of trivia, some quotes from the episode. That's kind of like how we were attempting to capture. I think it came out really nice as well.
It came out really well.
Richard Cartledge, welcome, man.
Oh, piss off.
Ah, Paul Lucas was Sam in Shenmue 2 as well.
Ah.
A lesser known fact.
Oh, I went too early on that corner. Bugger, bugger, bugger. I ain't gonna do this. Already know I fucked this run up.
Right, we caught the chat up again.
I think we're good. Oh, got away with that. Bloody hell. Thank you for the sub, AJ Guinness.
Were there any ideas? Oh, nice one, man. Thank you for that. Rhino says, were there any ideas that you were keen to include in Shenmue World but dropped for whatever reason? I know there was a couple of people I was in talks with for doing stuff that either it fell a little away from them or I completely forgot about. So one of them was, I was originally speaking to Barry Harmon from Sega Bits. He was going to do an article actually, and then it just completely slipped my mind. So when I was like going out there asking people for articles and fan art and that sort of stuff, it depends. Like if you catch me too early, like say if you started asking me now, can I write an article for issue 4? If I don't start working on issue 4 for like a year, I might forget that interaction happened, and that's kind of what happened in this case. So in fact, he is going to be writing an article for Shenmue World issue 4 now instead. But that was that last minute edition of the, you know, the Sega Bits print with the voice actors.
Oh,
he was going to be writing an article about that. So. But other than that, Rano, I don't know. Nothing off the top of my head.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've done it again.
Missed it.
Yeah. Fucking third time. Oh, piss off. Not having that. That's annoyed me. That's really annoyed me. Oh, wow. Let's go and play some QTE title, I think.
QT タイトル1回100円
Let's have a go at this.
Just going to the toilet, Matt, by the way.
No worries.
ちょっと遊んでみるか
Vivi, still think you should include your interview in issue 4. Would like it in print. We'd have to double check with Wisenet, but I think that wouldn't be a bad shout at all. Would be pretty cool to have that in print. Oh, bit of a delayed input there. Let's see if I can remember this. Oh, got away with that. Ah, damn it. Barry Jones on darts is a pain in the neck. See how we get on with this. I like QTE title. Somewhere on the internet you can find the original one that I think Sega made it, but that's what this is based off of. I'd have to dig around on our forums, but there is an original version of it somewhere online. You can see the original arcade cabinet. quite beat up as well. Hopefully we're getting into the groove here now. Come on. Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, no. I got that right. Just. I thought I fucked that right up. There we go. Let's keep going. Yes. Oh, got away with that. That was poor. Keep going. Oh, got away with that. Oh, we're getting into 3Bs, I think, now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There we go. I'll catch up on chat in a minute. Big title, there we go. So that is what this is. Hasn't sped up yet. Doing alright. Here we go again. It's getting a bit quicker. I'd say this is easier than the Shenmue 3 version, actually, as well, because it doesn't fake you out. They throw me off. Keep going. Oh, it's getting much quicker now. Let's keep going. Oh, got away with that. That was very lucky. Very, very, very lucky. Come on. Oh, the double you... Oh, I got it. I thought I fucked that right up. Got away with that. I definitely didn't press that as a double. Who cares? Come on. I just want the toy. That's what I want. That's what I want. There we go. Another double. Ah, bollocks! Right, we've got the toy, so that's good. I know that much. 300,000 is the mark to get yourself your toy. Let's see how long we can keep going now. Ah, and we're done. Alright, let me pick up some of the chat on here. Those damn fake outs, yeah, they're a right pain in the ass. Do I know of any DLC for Shenmue 3? Yes, it's all on Steam. It's normally in a sale as well. Very, very cheap. A couple of quid. Nintendo, happy 25th anniversary for Shenmue. Superb. John Yaguta, don't worry about your English. Don't worry at all. Not an issue. It goes in and out of sale as well. So it's sometimes worth waiting if you're going to get the DLC for Shenmue 3. And it'll end up in a sale a bit later, perhaps.
Hey.
Yo.
How we doing, man?
All good.
Apologies about that.
I've just got my my capsule toy for QTE title.
Ooh, good job, man.
Quite happy with that. I've just got myself a winning can. What time is it? We'll keep going for another 10-15 minutes, I reckon. Because it is Sunday and some people will have work tomorrow. I don't. I'm off
Like
until,
me.
I'm off until the 7th.
Jealous, man. Very, very jealous. Right, let me catch up on the chat since I've been gone. Just read a good comment actually. Oh, Vivi, yeah, still think you could include your interview in issue 4. I kind of do as well. I don't know. It might feel a little bit dated depending on how fast I get around to issue 4, but we'll see, we'll see. That's probably one sort of slight regret actually for not including that, but at the time I'd kind of almost finished the magazine at the time, so I would have had to like cut something.
Oh, just won the boom box.
Nice one, Matt. Very rare occurrence.
Right, what colour are we going for? We've got black, red, or silver. I always go red. I don't know what it is. I just like the red.
Yeah, it's probably cool because it's like Cool Z's boombox, isn't it, almost? But
let's go red. Let's go red. It'll be delivered to your house. Get in there. Well, now it'd be rude not to buy a cassette. We'll buy this one.
Ooh, Don in chat says, hi, do you recommend to buy DLC of Shenmue 3? Never played Shenmue 3 and I don't know if it's important. I would say so, actually. I think, like, if I could go back and experience Niaowu for the first time with the story DLC part of that area, that would have been, I think that would have been really good on that first playthrough. Like a standalone DLC, you've sort of got to replay the Niaowu segment regardless to see those sort of story beats with that sort of stuff. So you may as well add it to your game now, in my opinion, because it'll just flesh out the second half of the game a little bit. And like Vivi says, it's usually really cheap. The DLC is these days.
Yeah, it's on and off sale on Steam all the time, so I just hang on for a sale and get it all together. Get them for a few quid.
Yep. Do a
bit of training.
Oh, Vivi's only played the Battle Rally DLC so far, apparently.
Ah. Oh, it's not
the casino boat, I forgot what it's called. The boat DLC is not the best, but the story DLC is pretty good. I think you've got to play that, Vivi, if you haven't done the story DLC. Shenson, what is everyone's favourite Shenmue memory?
Oh, that's a question.
That is a question. Favourite Shenmue memory? I've got a couple of memories from like when I was showing Shenmue 2 to my friend back in the day. We were, because this was like on my very first playthrough of Shenmue 2, so I hadn't like actually, we didn't know where we were going. We were still exploring like Wan Chai, and it just was way too big to memorize on your first playthrough, so we kept going into like different areas, just discovering things. And there was one moment that happened which stands out to me, where it started raining in the game, which, you know, actually the weather doesn't tend to change too much in Shenmue 2, so when it rains, you know, it's pretty cool. But there was probably like 4 or 5 NPCs just around Rio at the time, and all of them put the umbrellas up at the same time. It was like hilarious. You got a favourite memory, Matt?
Ooh. I would say probably when So you play it for the first time. Take out the opening cutscene and all the rest of it. I love when you get to the harbour. You have those sweeping shots of the harbour, the crane and everything as Rio comes onto the bus. I love that. That's a favourite memory for me. One of my favourites as well. But Shenmue does all those those transitions into new locations brilliantly. They make them like a massively epic event. Like every one of them. And I love that. It's brilliant. Save the game. What's yours, James?
Well, if we're talking like just favourite part of the series, is always going to be like the Guilin section of Shenmue 2, but specific memory, that umbrella thing was just something that just stands out to me as something I just think about, because obviously it was at a time where I find it hard to go back. I really struggle to explain stuff, but I mean, like, my memory's pretty bad. So, like, there's only some things I can remember, and that instance there is like a thing that I can picture the day. Like, that is one day I can sort of picture, and that helps me to take me back to like how I was thinking on my first playthrough of Shenmue 2. Whereas, like, I don't know, it's hard to remember certain days in my mind. I don't know. Other people have got like photographic memories and this sort of stuff, and I suppose maybe you can relate a little bit more to like your memories. I've always struggled with that. Like, if I think hard enough, I can probably remember specifics.
Lovely. I won.
So I guess I don't really. I'd have to really think hard to sort of dig out a favourite memory as such, without just having like your stereotypical like, oh, picking Shenmue up for the first time on Christmas Day, and you know, like I'm actually trying to think of like something that stands out in my head that I can describe. Maybe like discovering the duck racing.
That's quite cool, isn't it?
That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Like, I don't even know how I discovered that. I think it must have been the Primer Shenmue 2 guide.
I ended up following a guide.
I would never have found that on my own.
No.
Yeah, I would never have found that on my own. And back in those days, like the Primer guides were like, I used to buy them. If they were available with a game that I was really enjoying, I would buy them and like read them on car journeys. But like Shenmue in particular, especially after playing through the first Shenmue with the Primer guide and like finding all these hidden cutscenes that I didn't know about, like your friends coming to visit, Nozomi actually ringing the phone at home, which is mad. Like, to stumble across that, actually, it must be insane, right? You're playing Shenmue 1 and then all of a sudden the phone rings randomly.
You're like, what's this? And then you answer. It's all like hidden stuff that you just don't see.
I can... Yeah, and the Primer guide was really good for like discovering those cutscenes, but I do remember actually the phone ringing, and because I was so unfamiliar with the game at the time, I forgot where the phone was, so I was like running around the house, and then it cut out because there's only like maybe like 20 seconds as it's ringing until it stops ringing.
Right, I'm going to do one more hang-on run, and I'm going to call it, I think, for the evening. See if we can do this.
Have you ever 100%ed the capsules, Matt?
No. Not legitimately.
No. No.
It's really hard to do.
It is possible. Possible with the way that D3T have done the inventory and the re-releases, because it greys out all of them, so essentially it's like a checklist, isn't it?
Yeah, which is cool. Which is really cool. Somebody did a 100% notebook run as well, didn't they, in our Discord? I can't remember the name of them, but they were doing a
Recently.
100% notebook. Whoever does that, you have my respect, because that is awful to do.
Yeah. You've got to keep going back to the fortune tellers, haven't you?
Yeah, and
Investing in her. It's like 300 yen each. Reading. That speedrun's coming up soon, right?
yes.
Towards the start of January.
Awesome games done quick. I can't remember the exact date. I'd have to have a look. But I was planning on watching. It streams at like 7 in the morning UK time. So I was probably going to have a watch. Hey, Richard Payne, happy anniversary and welcome in.
Hey, Richard. Richard's got a great new video as well. If
Oh,
you've not seen that.
superb video.
Yeah. Definitely worth a watch. It's got loads of unused, potentially unheard pieces of Shenmue music that he's discovered in the files, undocumented. And just the video in general is just really good.
Yeah, the video production quality is brilliant.
And you can find that on the Dojo YouTube, by the way, if you were wondering where that video was. Daniel Mann says, favourite Shenmue memory? It's still just watching the opening cutscene for the first time. I think that the opening is one of the video game ever.
Bollocks.
Agreed.
Cock this would run up completely. I'm out of position on the track as well.
Interesting point there, Mario. So Mario says, wondering whether the winning can increases chances of getting the #1 raffle ticket for the boombox.
I don't
Now,
know.
I don't know, but there is there is specific days in the game. I don't know if they're always the same on every playthrough, but there is specific days where Rio's luck is increased. So there is like a hidden luck stat.
Christmas Day is one of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. So whatever day we're on today, which we can find out in a minute, potentially could be a lucky day. So if you've ever had like one of those days in Shenmue where you're just winning everything, like, oh, winning can, and then you go to the raffle and it's like 3rd prize, 4th prize, whatever, that's probably a lucky day. And that is one of the things I want to say with a fortune teller, if you ask for a number. But then I don't know actually, because I think that number's linked to the slot machines actually.
Yeah, I thought it was linked to the slot machine. Digital Duck documented a load of it on his Twitch channel years ago. I think he's still around. He documented loads of it. That's it. Bollocks. Crashed.
Scribe's favourite moment is stepping off the boat in one chai, start Shenmue 2.
Right.
Particularly with the Japanese voiceover, as he'd never played a game with Japanese
Bloody
video
typical
spoken.
that I hit the fucking G after I crashed by accident earlier.
Did you?
Yeah. Don't think we're going to make the end of this, but we'll try.
Gigi says, my favourite Shenmue memory when I first rented it from Blockbuster, I pretended to be sick for 4 days to stay at home from school and keep playing. Had to re-rent it twice during that week.
Blockbuster Video, now that's a throwback as well.
Yeah. Strictly Sega Europe says, confession, I have never unlocked the Duck Racing game.
Right, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. I don't think we're going to get anywhere close to finishing this. I think I fucked it up too much.
Ooh, that's a good one, Hermit. One of my favourite moments in the series was listening to cassette tapes in Shenmue 2 and hearing Joy and Guizhang to each other on the phone.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
That's a cool Easter egg, yeah.
Very well hidden as well.
game FAQs as well. Yeah, I used to print out guides I did from there.
They had some massive guides, didn't they, back in the day?
They had some really fucking long guides, yeah. Like 80 pages of A4. I'd have to like staple them together. Really, really quality guides then.
Oh, they were brilliant. Absolutely spot on back in the day. Especially if you weren't going
And they always had those sort of code graphics, didn't they, on the first page?
Oh, yeah, that sort of proper text-based graphic. I don't think I'm going to make this.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, knock him up. Close.
I needed another 5 seconds. Was that crash in the stage 4 that cost me that? 4th of December we're on here.
Speaking of which, I forgot, are there character bios in that guide for NPCs and whatnot, kind of like the passport disc? I'm not sure if the primer guides have all of the characters. I think maybe the Versus guide in my head does.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. I know the Japanese ones are much more in-depth. Thicker and in-depth. Like, we actually got the places, so like all the details about places, like the places section of the passport, we actually got out of a Japanese guide. So we took because they actually originally documented the exact text that was in the online code or whatever, and then Switch translated that into English. So that's what you find on Sukapak, is like the translated versions of the actual details for each of the places that were written for the passport disc.
Ah, there you go.
So that's a great thing that was sort of archived. No bios for the Shenmue 2 NPC characters beyond the basic info like heights, weights, birthdays, yeah. Which is a shame. I don't know if there is any.
The Shenmue 1 Primer and Versus guides have the character bios.
They do or don't, did you say?
They do.
Okay.
And then Conky's never done the duck race on Fangmate's birthday either. One day I'll do it. Hey Rio X, welcome in. And I Love Movies noticed that Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is on limited run games, but only for PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was debating getting that.
And
I'm not sure yet.
I suppose we should mention the limited run games merch again.
We
Just
should.
Make sure you go and buy it, guys.
We close out on this. If you haven't bought this, pick this merch up because all Shenmue merch helps. The more people buy Shenmue
Definitely
merch.
grab Mimi.
Oh, the cat's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's 13th of January. It stops, I want to say.
It's coming to a close relatively swiftly, isn't it, compared to the Sonic Adventure stuff? So we are going to have to market that, I think.
Yes, we'll give it a good
very,
old
very
shove.
soon. Yeah.
If you haven't seen that already, James will pop the link in the chat.
For the limited run stuff?
Yeah,
Got
it to
grab
hand.
that for you.
And then I'm going to close us so we can go to bed because people have work in the morning. I don't, but I'm getting up because I've got a load of bloody chores to do.
Just type. I'll get you a link that just shows everything there.
Superb. There we go. That shows you everything that you're going to
Happy
get.
anniversary.
Brilliant. Thank you. Right. I'm going to bring us to a close there, guys, at coming up to 22:11. I said it at the top of the show. I'm going to say it again. It's insane that Shenmue has turned 25. Most of us in this chat will remember picking up for the Shenmue for the first time as teenagers, and then obviously going through our lives. It's been a strong part of a lot of people's lives in this chat. Obviously, whether you're a new fan or an old fan, thank you for all the support you've given, not only the dojo, but Shenmue as a franchise. Without the community, this franchise doesn't exist as it does today. It would be a dormant IP with nothing going for it. 25 years is insane. Absolute madness. Shenmue changed gaming. It changed the way I play games. I think it's safe to say the same for James as well. It's done so much for so many people for so long that I really do hope one way or another we find a way for this series to get finished. I'm sure we can. We've got in games coming on board with Shenmue 3. Let's see how that comes out. Let them cook. Let them see how things go. Come back on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and James and I will have our end of year review, and we're going to go through all the key Shenmue talking points over the year, and then start looking towards the future in 2025. On top of that, we'll be back on the 4th of January for the first stream of the hashtag Let's Get Shenmue 4 for 2025 as well. And I will be doing a reminder video for that on January the 3rd, so make sure you pop that up as well. If you haven't checked things out already, I've done a video on the Shenmue PlayStation 2 reveal, that there was a version for PlayStation 2 back in the day, internally at Sega somewhere. And also check out the tribute video that we've put together, going through many people within the gaming industry, talking about their thoughts of Shenmue, their memories of Shenmue, and hopefully what they see in the future as well. But, as always, guys, thank you for dropping on the content. James and I appreciate it very, very much. And we will see you again very, very shortly. So it's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
And I'm going to take us out in the standard tradition that we have for now. And I will see you all again very, very soon. And live again on Saturday. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, guys.
巡る季節